Sorry, I had to. Okay. Hi everyone, I'm E.D. Lewis and welcome back to another Nocturnal review. If you're wondering why I'm in the same position as I was in my last video on, Let Me In / Let the Right One In, and why I'm wearing the same shirt, it's because I just filmed that video, and now I'm filming the other video. I've been doing this a lot now where I film my videos ahead of time. So anyway, let's just get started, but I just had to. I mean, Hellga here has a motion sensor down here at the bottom of her cauldron, but it doesn't work. It hasn't worked since I got her, anyway. And I can't even get her. I mean, you can pat her and stuff, and she won't go off. The only time she'll go off... Oh, there we go. She never does that. And I've actually left her turned on my bookshelf, which I keep her up here where you can't even see, right underneath Henry, who you can't even see. Henry, my skull. He's really Henry 2.0, because he's the second Henry, because the first one I had years ago and got rid of, and now I'm going to stop holding her. Well, Helga's working, so I guess that makes up for, you know. And when I've had her on, I'm just so glad that she hasn't, like, gone off in, like, the middle of the night when I go to bed or something like that would creep me out for sure. Okay, anyway, let's get started with this video now. Alright. So we're going to pretend I didn't just film my other video, like I usually do. I sometimes even change my shirt. I did not. I'm like, I don't want to. This is a brand new shirt. I just got it. It's the Exorcist shirt. This last one that the store had. And it was in my size, so it was perfect. So, and I love the Exorcist. Okay, so, I'm doing a dual review. I had originally considered this to be two different reviews. Well, originally I thought, oh, I'll do them as a review together. Then I thought, no, I'll do them separately because they're, you know, it's not a review. It's not a book and an adaptation of a book. They're two completely different, completely different things. And I thought, no, you know what? We're going to do the 2-for-1 special. So, you know, you get 2 reviews for the price of 1. So it's going to be, and I don't know if I'm going to call this the Haunting in Connecticut review, or a Dark Place and Haunting in Connecticut review. I don't know yet, but anyway. I'm going to sneeze. I don't know why I'm sneezing suddenly. I was fine until I started filming. Okay, so I'm going to be doing a review on the Haunting in Connecticut, which will be the second half of the review. I may timestamp this. So, bear with me. And also, I'm going to be reviewing In a Dark Place. Alright, so let's just go ahead and get started, and, I mean, the reviews are going to intersect, but if you want to mostly focus on the movie, I might timestamp it, so go ahead and check out the description down below, just in case I do that, okay? So, anyway. So this is a review of In a Dark Place by, technically it's by Ray Garton. This is the only book by him I've ever read. But it lists Carmen Reed and Al Snedeker with Ray Garton. It is a Warren case. I'm going to snooze. I'm so sorry. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Okay, so this is a Warren case, you know, Ed and Lorraine Warren, the famous paranormal team that are no longer with us, who, you know, some people are skeptical over, some people are less skeptical over. I believe their cases were real, but I think they were also exaggerated, so, I mean, I'm a fan of them, but I'm also, critical and skeptical. We'll go skeptical of their work, though I do believe in their work. So it's one of the things, take with a grain of salt, you know. So because there's lots of things in this world we don't understand, we will never understand, we're not supposed to understand. And just because one person believes one thing and, you know, someone's, oh, that couldn't be, that's fine. But don't ridicule someone who believes differently than you do, because, I mean, you don't know. And they don't know, so, you know, it's not hurting anybody, so. Anyway, so this is the book that's based off of the famous Haunting in Connecticut case. My nose I'm sorry, I did not start sneezing. I was fine until I started filming. Maybe this is a sign. Well, I can't really... I don't want to get up. I'm fine. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, hopefully I will not continue to sneeze. Okay, so this is the book that's based off the famous haunting in Connecticut case that that happened in the 80s. The book came out in 1992. It tells the story of the Snedeker family. It was back when Carmen was, her last name was Snedeker because she was married to Al. They are taking their son. I don't know what his real name was. I don't know if his name was really Stephen, because I'll get to that in a moment. So we're just going to call him Stephen for the sake of it. So they're taking Stephen, their son, who is suffering from it's called Hodgkin's lymphoma. I think that's how you pronounce it. The cancer that he's suffering from, and he's being taken back and forth from... They live in New York, and they have to go to Connecticut to get this particular treatment that he's on. It's kind of, it's kind of a necessary thing if they want their son to live. And so they have to travel back and forth, and it's costing them a lot of money. So they agree to buy this house and look for a house that's closer, that they can afford, and they find this one that's just ideal. It's perfect, it's nearby, and stuff. And so they decide, yeah, let's go ahead and buy this house. So they move in, and basically from almost the point that they move in, Stephen starts to notice that there's something wrong with this house. So, excuse me. So he tries to warn his mom and stuff, about things that are happening, but she's like, no, it's just a new house. It'll be fine, we'll be okay. And she also thinks that, some of the stuff that he starts claiming is all due to his treatments and stuff, through his chemo and stuff. And so soon it's discovered that he's not the only one having these, seeing these apparitions, these things like this little boy in Superman pajamas, these shadow figures, this man with that's all dressed in black, and it has a scar, down I think it's the middle of his face, and all this weird stuff that happens, and also the change in his behavior, because he starts going to a really dark place. His parents don't really think much about it. They think, it's part of a teenager, things. Although they start experiencing things too. After he starts attacking his family, and they send him away to a mental hospital, things start to escalate, and they ultimately just contact the Warrens and Lorraine Warren to come in and investigate this case. And the things that are discovered are creepy and disturbing, because there is some disturbing moments in this, I should say. This book it's not like The Haunted, which I read last year and reviewed, which actually I didn't read this recently. I did have to review a little bit about the book and stuff, and about the case, and I recently rewatched the movie too, which, like I said, it's not based off the book. I forgot my train of thought, sorry. Oh, it has, content warnings, or, trigger warnings, because there is, I don't want to tell you because it's kind of a big giveaway, but there is, especially with the attacks and stuff, the violence, and a particular kind of violence that some people would find very uncomfortable. So I'll just leave it at that. Very uncomfortable. this book is kind of terrifying. I think it's scarier later on with the stuff that's happening after the investigation starts, but I really enjoyed it, and it was really creepy. I learned a lot more about this case than I already had heard, because I've seen, of course, the movie. The movie is what I saw first. I've seen the pilot special that was for the TV show A Haunting from Discovery Channel, which it's on a different channel now. I think it's still going on. And they called it A Haunting in Connecticut. And, yeah, to me, I think that the real-life case, or at least the real-life claimings, the alleged haunting, I think it's scarier than the motion picture. Ray Garton has actually distanced himself from this book, because what he claims, and I mean, I wasn't there, so I can't say one word or the other, he claims that Ed Warren had said to him that, oh, these people are crazy, just do whatever you can to make the book scary, because Ray Garton, he talked to people in the family, and he claimed that their stories didn't always match up, and sometimes they'd change what they were saying. I mean, I don't know, to me it doesn't seem to add up a little bit, because, and even Carmen herself, which this part doesn't add up either, so I do have some conflicting things about this case. Carmen has even said in an interview, and it's actually in the little special that they do on the special features of the movie. I know that was really glary, sorry. She said that there was a lot of things she wanted taken out of the book, but a lot of the things that she and her family talk about are in this book. So I don't know if maybe she was looking at an early draft before it was altered, you know, I don't know, but I mean, a lot of the stuff that they claim is in this book, so I don't know if they read an early version and they weren't satisfied with that, and she complained and they said no, and then they did change it, or what happened, but I have no idea. So, I mean, and Ray Garton claims that, you know, all their stories were constantly changing, yet from the stuff I've heard about the case, a lot of those things are mentioned in this book, so I mean, I don't know. Also, she tried to claim that there was, trying to infer that her son was on drugs. Well, he was on drugs, the drugs that they were giving him for, you know, his treatment, yes. And that there was a lot of alcoholism going on, but, I mean, not in the way that she was talking about. These things were not in the way she was taught, what she was claiming. So I don't know. I have some conflicts about this. Like I said, I am a fan of the Warrens and their cases, and I don't think any of their cases were just boldly just completely made up and stuff, and complete fallacies, but I think that they were exaggerated to different degrees. So, I mean, I can't say anything against those involved, because I wasn't there, I wasn't involved, so, I mean, how would I know? But, that's just my personal opinion. Going into the movie now, the movie came out in 2009, and it stars, Virginia Madison, I don't remember what they named the mother in this movie, because I don't think her name's Carmen, but she does a great job in the film, and they changed the last name. The last name of the family is now Campbell, and also they changed, I think, all the other kids' names. And I think the main kid's name, his name is Matt instead of Steven. I have no idea what his real name is. I think in the episode from A Haunting, I think his name is David or something like that. But, and it has Kyle Gallner in it, too. And Martin Donovan. So, I mean, it's got a great cast. It is a really creepy movie. It's pretty much the same thing. The family, they're going back and forth from New York to Connecticut to, you know, for treatment of their son who is suffering from is it non-Hodgkin's lymphoma? film. I think that's what it's called. I hate that I can't remember what it's called. But, you know, it's a And so he only has so much time to live, and they're hoping that these treatments will help. And so they look for a house and stuff. The way they look for a house is different than how it happened in the how it happens in the book that's based off of the same case. In this, they basically just, the night that they look at the house, they move in immediately because he's getting really sick and stuff. And the backstory of the house is a little different. I mean, here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm sure everybody who has seen the movie and stuff and knows about the case knows this. They move into a funeral home. It was a funeral home, and it's claimed that they didn't know that it was a funeral home, so, until after they moved in, but, I mean, I don't know, and, the backstory about the whole thing with the funeral home is a little different. There's in this movie, there's things about, seances, I can't think of the word, and contacting the dead and using necromancy for that purpose. And there's a boy named Jonah who is seen right here on the cover. He has ectoplasm that comes out of him and stuff, and he can give messages and stuff from the dead, and they have all these photographs of these ceremonies until one of the ceremonies goes horribly wrong. And that's kind of I can't tell you more about that. I mean, this movie it's pretty good. It's not as scary as I thought it was going to be. I didn't see it in theaters. I ended up renting it. And the trailer, in my opinion, is scarier than the actual movie, and it's really creepy. Especially that music they play in the trailer. It really is kind of unnerving, and it kind of makes me kind of shiver a little bit. That's why I'm doing my shoulders really terribly here. The movie itself is frightening too, but I think the trailer was scarier, personally. But, I mean, a lot of people like this movie. It is entertaining. It's different. It's creepy. It's freaky. It's weird. It's disturbing. It's a movie I'd recommend. And also, they do have a 2-part documentary on here about the real-life story. If you want more of the real-life story, and I think kind of a little bit of a better view of it, you should really read the book, In a Dark Place, by Ray Garton, or you should watch the episode from, A Haunting, because it gives, a lot of the details. It leaves out a bunch that are not in the book, and some of the more uncomfortable details, which are not in this movie at all. I will tell you that it doesn't have the same trigger warnings. It's more of just freaky stuff. Whereas the other, the book has the trigger warnings of stuff that might make certain people really uncomfortable. Well, actually, it should make everybody uncomfortable, in my opinion. Definitely made me uncomfortable. And then there's another one. I haven't seen it, and I can't remember what it's called, but there's another documentary that's about hauntings. It's a TV show or something like that, or was a TV show. And they cover it, like, in 2012 or so. And there's a bit of an update on the case regarding the character of, as he's called, Matt in the movie, and Stephen in the book, and I'm thinking his name is David in the Haunting. In regards to him at that point, and it is kind of tragic what happened to him at the very end. Years after this all happened, but I don't want to give that away of what happened to him and stuff. So, another great Halloween read. And spooky season read. And even if, once Halloween's over and stuff, you still want to read spooky reads, because I read this stuff all year round, as many of us on HorrorTube do check out In a Dark Place, by Ray Garton, and also check out, if you want a creepy movie to watch this season that's about a haunting, whether you believe in hauntings or not, check out The Haunting in Connecticut. Also, I forgot to mention, the thing about this book, I'm not going to timestamp this video, as it turns out. Unlike other haunting books, where basically it's like a document you're reading, and interviews and whatnot, this is basically written like a novel. And so I'm glad that it's written like a novel, because then, I think it helps you to get more into the story and stuff, and it definitely comes across a lot scarier and creepier than like the book The Haunted that covered the Smurl haunting that happened in the 80s. So anyway, that's my review, and I hope to see you next time right here on E.D. Lewis Reviews. Have a great October. Have a great Halloween. It's coming up really soon, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.